Hi there, it's Laurel Beard, Blitsy blogger here, and I'm here today to talk to you about distress markers. They're made by Ranger and Tim Holtz, and I absolutely love them. Here's a little photo there. You're going to see a little device up there to the right. That's the distress spritzer, and we'll talk about that in another video. Today I wanted to focus on just the markers, and I'm going to show you how I made 4 cards, this one being the first one. This is a background stamp that I have. It's by Hero Arts. Any kind of stamp that you have in your stash or over on the Blitsy store will work. And I'm going to take some distress markers and I'm going to color directly onto the stamp there. Now I have the entire set, so I'm going to go through my stash and just pick out some colors. I think I'm going with 7 or 8 markers here. And I'm going to color directly onto the stamp. Now each distress marker has 2 ends. You've got your brush end, which I'm going to be using today, and then you have a fine tip, and which is good for coloring. Or not coloring, I'm sorry, writing. So I like that about the distress markers. So I'm taking my markers and the brush tip and I'm going in and coloring directly onto my stamp. And you can see I'm using the side of my brush. I don't want to damage the tip, so I'm just going in with the side. You also can see I'm overlapping into other colors, and that's okay because the distress markers do not contaminate with each other. I'm working off of a Tim Holtz craft sheet, but paper, acrylic block, whatever, when you're done, I just take my markers and I scribble them off to the side, and it will remove any of that excess ink, and then your marker's back to normal, good as new. So I'm taking my cardstock there and pressing it down into my stamp, and when you lift it, you're going to get this gorgeous background, multicolored background that you really can't achieve with ink pads. It's just too hard. These distress markers make it so easy to create a unique, colorful background. So to bring this card together, very simple, I'm taking a stamp set. This one is called Truly Appreciated, also by Hero Arts. And I'm taking a big sentiment, stamping it in some of my VersaFine Pigment Black ink, and then I'm going to heat set it with some embossing powder just to give it a little bit more fun and sparkle. And then that's pretty much going to be the basis of this card here. Very simple, very easy to mass produce, but the background is the highlight of this card right here because it's so colorful and so unique, and each time you do this, you'll never get it exactly the same, so they'll always be unique, and I just love the look of the distress markers give. So again, I'm just heat setting that black sparkly embossing powder there, and then I'm going to go ahead and mount this to my card base. This is just some black cardstock here. I'm going to adhere that down with some adhesive. There's a ton of adhesive runners over in the Blitsy shop right now, and that's going to complete this first card. So easy to do, again, very easy to mass produce. And you can change out each of the designs, you could keep it 1 color, 2 colors, 10 colors, whatever you want to do. I just love distress markers. And now we're going to go ahead and work on this card. And this card is just going to use 3 distress markers in the green family. The stamps that I'm using is also by Hero Arts. It's called Wreath of Leaves. But again, there's a lot of stamps in the Blitsy store right now that you can use for this technique. And again, I'm going to be coloring directly onto the stamp. So I think I pulled 4 distress markers, but I think I'm only going to go with 3. But again, and this is whatever you want to do. I want to create some definition and some shadowing just by using these distress markers. So again, I'm using the side of the brush, as you can see here, and I'm coloring out. The key to this, and to both cards really, is just to make sure that your stamp it's colored completely. Make sure there's no missing areas that don't have any color. So I'm going in with my marker here and coloring it with the green, and then I'm going to go in with another color green. I'm just going to start coloring in some different areas off to the side, just kind of moving it around. I think this is so much fun. It's going to create a lot of dimension just from an ink. Just from your one inked up image. So then I'm going to go in with this final with this green and then just color in different areas. There's really no rhyme or reason. The key is I just want to make sure that all of the image is colored with color from the distress markers. And I love this so much about it. And you can see I'm scribbling off to the side there. That's to remove any of the excess color there. Oh, I went in with the 4th color. I'm sorry. So again, you can customize this to whatever colors you want. And you can see again, I'm scribbling off to the side to remove any of that other marker color from the tip. Now I'm just going to go ahead and press this down directly onto my card base. I'm being careful to center that up because this is going to be my card here. So I gave it some good pressure. You can go ahead and put that on an acrylic block if you wanted to. And then look at that color that you get. Look at that. Just from the distress markers. Isn't that neat? So I'm working off of the Tim Holtz craft sheet, like I said. Also, I love it because it's super easy to clean up. I just took a cloth and wiped it clean, and we're good to go. So this I'm going to use as one of my Christmas cards. So this is a good idea for you guys that are looking to do Christmas cards and kind of keep it 1 layer for postage reasons, so it's not so expensive to ship. I'm taking this greeting I have in my stash. It's called Season's Greeting. I'm sure you guys have a lot of greetings you can use, and there's also a lot of sentiment stamp sets over in the store as well. And I'm going to ink this up with 2 different color distress markers. And this is going to go into another technique that I'm going to show you on what you can do with the distress markers. I'm going in with 2 different color reds here. And I'm just kind of dabbing around over the already inked up image from the original red marker that we used. And then I'm going to stamp that down directly onto my card. And you're going to get a very subtle look of that sentiment. Oh, I'm going in with another color. Look at that. I'm going in with peacock feathers, which by far is my favorite distressing color. I just love that blue. See, did you see how as I scribbled it away, you could see the red go down, but then when I was done, it was just the blue? That's proof that you cannot contaminate these markers. So please don't be scared of mixing and matching up your colors. So I'm going to go in and stamp this down. And since this is actually my card, and this is very clean and simple, I want to make sure that I've got it straight and where I want it to be. And then I don't know if you can catch that on camera. I'm going to do it again in the next card, so don't worry. But you get this really cool, unique sentiment there that you can't really achieve with ink pads. So I'm going to go ahead and adhere that down to a white card base, and that's going to complete that card. Very good idea for mass producing your Christmas cards. Now here's the one I'm going to show you a little bit in more detail and slower about how you can create custom, unique sentiments by using your distress markers. I'm laying down, again, using the side of my brush here, I'm laying down the Peacock Feathers distress marker color, my favorite, and making sure that I have complete coverage. Then I'm going in with the red, I believe that's called Festive Berries, and I'm just going in and kind of dabbing here, dabbing there, no rhyme or reason. And then I'm scribbling off to the side, you can't see. And then, so I've got those 2 colors, and then I huffed on it. I don't think you have to do that, but I just do it out of, I don't know why I do it. And then as I press down, I'm making sure I press good and hard. When you lift it up, look at that unique sentiment you get just by adding 2 different color, contrasting colors to your sentiment. Isn't that neat? I just love distress markers. So now what I'm going to do is just keep it really simple. I'm scribbling on some color onto my craft sheet, and I've got a wet paintbrush just with regular water, and I'm just brushing on some color. This is going to, again, be a very clean and simple card. So again, I'm just writing some out on my craft sheet, adding a little bit of water, not too much. I don't want too much water on my brush because 1, this is not watercolored cardstock, and 2, I really want that brush stroke look. And then I'm just going on and just brushing on some color. And then that's going to be this card. The sentiment really shines, the uniqueness of the sentiment. It's really hard to do with ink pads, just with the just with the distress markers. So much fun. Now here's the card that shows a lot of technique, because with distress products, they come in pads, they come in markers. Today we're focusing on the markers. They are formulated to react with water. So I'm going in with my distress markers here, and I'm going to color that entire base with 2 different colors of the distress markers. And again, because these distress inks are formulated to react with water, you can get some really fun, cool looks, and I'll show you what I mean in just a second. This is, the first color was Peacock Feathers, of course, and this is the pink color, which the name is totally escaping me at the moment. I don't know why, because I use it all the time. And I'm going in and laying down some of the pink. And so it's kind of wet, but here's where it's cool. That is just a tub of water, and I've got a paintbrush there, and I am flicking on some water onto these 2 colors. And if you look closely, you're going to see that ink that we laid down from the marker react to that water. Can you see it? Isn't it neat? So I'm going in and taking my brush and dabbing some water around. There's some really good puddleages. That's not a word. Puddles laid up there. So I'm taking a cloth and kind of dabbing some of it away. And look at that. Look at that. Isn't that neat? That is just not, I love distress products. No other products out there react to water like this, okay? So these are just so unique in itself. And the markers really allow you to do a lot of fun things. So I had this little strip of gray cardstock on my desk, so I'm going to go ahead and, it was already there. I tend to look up and see what's on my desk and kind of finish out my cards, which is funny. That happy was already there too as well. Isn't that funny? That's a little happy die cut with some glitter paper. I'm taking some Ranger Multi-Matte Medium, because when you lay it down, it dries completely clear. So if you have any kind of glue oozing out the sides or anywhere, you're not going to be able to see that once that dries, which I absolutely love. It's picked raspberry. The pink is picked raspberry. It came to me. So I've got that happy, gone ahead and adhered down with that multi-matte medium glue, and I'm taking a birthday sentiment from my stash, and I'm stamping that with some of that Onyx Black ink, VersaFine Onyx Black ink by Sukaneko. And then, look, see, I always reuse my stuff. Isn't this funny? Don't throw your stuff away because you can reuse it. Oh, I did want to point out that I am using watercolored paper for this card right here because I added so much water. So that is Tim Holtz watercolored cardstock, which is also available over at the Blitsy store. So I'm going to go ahead and adhere that down to my black card base, and then that's this card. Look at those water splotches. Isn't that cool? So I'll be back with another video to talk to you about the Distress Spritzer there to the right, but today was all about distress markers, and I absolutely love them, and they're so much fun, and I hope you'll give them a shot, and let us know if you do. Thanks for watching.